Hello friends, welcome to the Thinking and Destiny book club. So before starting the session, let's start meditation with we'll connect to the author Percival, Harold Percival. Let's all connect to the group energies and start meditation for 5 minutes. Friends, let's all connect to the Harold Percival wisdom at this moment of time. Once you relaxed, once you emptying your mind, easily we grasp the wisdom of Percival. Final 1 minute. Let us thanks to the group energies. Let us thanks to the Prasanna for giving a simple explanation to understand the wisdom easily. And thanks to all the group members. Thank you, Masters. Just keep your hands on your eyes for 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Gently open your eyes with a big smile on your face. So before the session, I would like to invite Balagaru for recap the previous session on the 4 stages of thinking. Yeah, welcome Balagaru.
Thank you, Sirisha. So we covered points 6 and 7 last time. So I will summarize those 2 points. So in the point 6, what he says is the difference between human thinking and what's the real thinking. So human thinking versus real thinking. So that's what he explains in point 6. So what is human thinking? Human thinking is the intermittent, irregular, and jerky flashes of conscious light. It is not continuous. These flashes suggest discontinuous awareness and shots of burst rather than a steady flame of light. It reflects the lack of focus and discipline in mental activity. This fragmented thinking is largely a product of bodily processes and sensory disturbances, not of a refined consciousness. So all other sensual disturbances is causing that intermittent thinking. And also the what is real thinking? The real thinking is involves a steady, unbroken stream of light on the subject. This stream is the result of intense focus, inner stillness, and mastery over the bodily process. During the real thinking, the breathing stops, and not forcibly, but naturally it stops because of the inward absorption. That's what happens in our meditation. This breathlessness state implies a high spiritual meditative condition when thoughts happens in a non-physical way, untethered from the rhythmic interruptions of respiration. So basically, in between also, it says how it happens, thinking between the breaths happens. So he says in human thinking, the act of thinking happens in between breaths, the real thinking. That is, inhalation and exhalation interrupts the thinking process that is in human thinking. The thoughts are like points of light and the breaths are like dashes that breaks the continuity. But in continued efforts and the limits of human thinking, how it happens. Sustained attention on a subject, continuous attention on a subject even in human thinking can cause repeated flashes of light on that subject. That's how we can, by putting our focus repeatedly on that subject, we can achieve that, he's saying. This repetition helps clarify and refine and deepen the understanding, but it remains a limited and fragmented process. It is the highest level of ordinary human thinking short of entering real thinking. So the heart and lungs, and also the next he says the heart and lungs as a potential esoteric concept. How it happens from the lungs and heart and lungs, how it originates. True thinking begins in the heart and lung center, he calls thorax, a kind of emotional intuitive intelligence, and it is then processed or expressed by the head and brain. First, it starts in the heart and lungs region, and then it goes into the head and brain, it seems. It expresses through the brain. This idea aligns with the yogic physiology and ancient traditions, that is the yogic tradition. That is why we call it Hrudayam, spiritual heart, where the heart is a seat of wisdom and consciousness, not just emotion. So, how this conception of the thought happens? Thought originates in the thorax. It is gestated, developed, and refined, and finally issued and expressed through the brain and the head. That's what I mentioned, just now. The brain is not the origin of thought, but the organ of expression, the mouth of the deeper mind. That is the mind-body system. So this sequence emphasizes the downward-upward communication. So, feeling and desire starts in the thorax, and thought forms shaped by light. Elaboration and articulation happens in the head. That's what the process. Desire is the direct cause of thinking. Desire is the engine of a thought. Without desire, there is no movement of light, no focus, no thinking. There should be desire. But how it should be? But desire is always preceded by feeling, which acts as the receptor of impressions from the nature. So only the desire is preceded by feeling. First, the feeling starts. Association, distinction, and memory. How it happens? These three processes are key mechanisms that shape our thoughts. So what are the, how it happened? Association, connecting the current impressions with the past experience. So whatever we think of, we are always connected with the past something, some object or event. And the distinction, noticing differences and categorizing. So we categorize in exactly what we want, what we do not want. And then the memory, recalling stored sense impressions, then we recall it. So the all of these happens through the body mind, making ordinary thinking deeply tied to past experiences and sensory data, not the independent life. So this is what, in the human thinking, this is what through the body mind it happens. So what is the conclusion? The difference between human thinking and real thinking. Flashes in human thinking, flashes of light disturbed by breath, and in real thinking, steady upstream of light at breathlessness. It happens in human thinking, it happens between the breaths, and real thinking happens beyond the breath. And in human thinking, initiated by desire, prompted by feeling. In real thinking, it is initiated by integrated feeling desire. In human thinking, it originates in thorax, expressed by brain. But in real thinking, it is centered deeply in conscious unity. And it is transcends sensory limitations in real thinking. But in human thinking, it is based on sense impressions. So these are the differences. So next one is for the 7.7, the four stages of real thinking. What are the four stages of real thinking? How it says we need, there are four stages in the real thinking, which leads to knowing. So what are those? First one is presentation of the subject. An impression from nature is accepted and the conscious light is turned on towards that object. Okay. Then next, fixing and cleansing the subject. The subject is held steadily in the conscious light to clear away the distractions. So we are completely focusing without any distractions. The third is reducing the subject to a point. The subject is distilled to its essential point by focusing the conscious light. Completely, we make it like a focus point. Then the fourth one is focus of the light on the point. Completely, we are focusing. After making that point, we focus on that point. The conscious light illuminates the essential point, resulting in knowing. So only that conscious light of the point, it illuminates when we focus on that point. Why most thinking fails to reach the knowing? So mental weakness and distractions, these are the ones, where it fails in human thinking. The body mind is untrained, restless, and easily distracted in the regular human thinking. Lack of internal coordination. The inner faculties are not in harmony or connected to the nerve centers. Now that's what happens in the disturbed human thinking. Interference from feeling and desire. Feeling and desire fails to activate thinking or interferes with it. Whether you want it or not, you're not sure. So all these disturbances that breaks it. And finally, elemental interferences. Elementals entered through the sensory impressions and cause the confusion. So the other elementals, they enter and then causes the confusion, whether, we cause the confusion of the steady light. So finally, the summary of the seven real thinking is a four-step spiritual process that can lead to direct knowing. Most human thinking is shallow, distracted, and reactive ending before the insight can occur. The process is sabotaged by mental weakness, emotional interference, and elemental distractions. To think clearly, one must train the mind, unify the interfaculties, and stabilize the conscious light. The goal is to think without creating binding thoughts, thereby attaining freedom from the nature's control. So that is how we create without binding to the nature, we create the thought. So that is what I have the summary, point 6 and 7. Today, Prasanna is going to cover 8 onwards.
Uh, okay. Thank you, Palagaru. Recap. Yes.
Okay, thank you. Let us start with the 8, which is a continuation of what we are learning, the 4-step process, right? It is a continuation process. Like how to focus on that second point, right? The first
Prasanna,
step is
if
to
you don't mind, before going to the next point, so elemental interference, can you tell me, can you repeat that, how it
Sure, sure.
interferes and,
Yeah, sure.
sorry for that.
Elemental interference
Yeah,
elemental interference is like,
your voice is,
suppose there is always every person has always elementals are the one that is actually trying to influence you in your thoughts. Okay, so even though when you are actually trying to achieve something, there is an elementals which is always trying to say like, okay, you can't do that or something. So these are all the negative forces kind of thing, right? Most of the things that influences, not only the negative influences, sometimes the universe will also give the ideas, like if you take any scientists or anything, right? When they are sleeping, some thought is arising. How they are arising? Again, there also some kind of elementals which are good kind of thing that is trying to give, right? So those things, those are all the things. Elemental influences are those, but in general, right? In general, the elemental influences are considered mostly the negative. That influence will be there, which is taking you away from the real thinking. Spokes, we learned about spokes. Do you remember?
yes, yes. So it's a negative and positive, both, it's nature spirits will
Both will
be there.
be, yeah,
So,
both will be
okay,
nature
yeah.
spirits, both will be there,
Yes, yes.
because there are some of the things there. Suppose you are the one who came here to invent something, let us take, but after coming here, you means you are trying, and at one point you are actually just getting like frustrated, and you want to stop that kind of experiment or whatever that invention, right? Then these elementals are these souls will try to help you to get it. But usually the elementals, the word will be using in a negative connotation throughout our book, in this book, but positive way also, like, because there I told you, right, there are some 7 souls will be there. Not all the souls will come into this earth, some kind of thing. There are some souls will be there, and which because you are all the soul family, they try to help you out. That is why whenever you are doing a meditation or anything, it is important to connect yourself with your higher self, which means, in the sense, those souls also you will try to get connected. Okay, usually those in that context, he is not referred as a elementals, but he didn't refer any other subject also, so it can be both. But if it is actually, if they are making you away from the real thinking, means those are the spokes or elementals. Okay, is it clear,
Yes, yes,
Sirisha?
thank you. Yeah.
Okay. Now point 8. Okay. Point 8 is saying the first step is to decide on the subject to be known. That is to turn the light on the subject on and no other. Turn the subject on and no other. This is where many of the people will be getting confused, because what you want, I'll give again a very very layman simple example, right? Suppose a person is there, one person, I'm there, I want to have a car. Okay, let us take, my focus is like, I just want to have a car no matter what. Maybe the Maruti Suzuki is enough for me, so that is what I wished for, I aimed for, and I got it. Okay, I'm so happy that day because I got my thing. And then when I'm trying to distribute my sweets and all that, I got a car, and my friend got a Mercedes Benz. Okay, when I went there to give a sweets, that the friend or somebody, whoever the relative or whoever, they said, "Oh, I got Mercedes Benz recently." So all your happiness is gone. Did you wish for the Mercedes Benz in the first place? You have not wished for it, but still your happiness is going by comparing yourself. So you need to understand where to focus your light on. What you need it. Suppose if any one of you, if any one of us, if you are thinking whatever we wished, whatever the thoughts we have released, we have got all of them realized. Is it not? Many of them, we have got our thoughts realized, and we are just actually enjoying all the things. Maybe I want to do the meditation for these things, or maybe I want to teach some book, or maybe whatever the way you are getting it. But the thing is, suppose if somebody else is getting a greater thing, then you will compare. Then people will say that's a human thing. It's not a human thing. We are actually going in the fake thinking kind of thing, or comparison. These are all the not a real thing. So for what he is saying is, first you need to understand where to put your light on. What do you need? Put focus on that, and no other. Don't put any other. So understand that process of deep thinking. So as just now Balagar explained, it has a 4 stages, right? So let us start from the stage 2, because stage 1 was explained clearly. Fixing the subject. First fix the subject. That is a stage 2. This is not a casual thought. You require a constant try. That is why whenever some people, oh, I want to start a business, give full study of it, thorough study of it. That is why give complete thought, not a casual thought. Train your mind to refrain, focused on the chosen subject, holding the conscious light steadily onto that subject. Then only you can fix on the subject. The light here refers a conscious awareness or intelligence that human is having, which is illuminating your mind. Okay, what is the purpose? To clear all the distractions, to create a clarity so that the subject is held unwavering attention onto that. So this is what that we have to do in the stage 3. We should be keeping all other distractions away. Should keep, suppose Thursday comes, I need to do this thinking and destiny, so I have to keep. So previously I used to do like 2 days before itself. Oh, I used to start from Wednesday, because that time it used to be on Friday, Wednesday, Thursday, then Friday only I used to give it. Now at least after getting it, okay, Thursday I need to be on the subject. Previous day I'll just see the subject, but I'll refresh my mind before the class. So that is how, right? So we need to keep complete focus on the subject. Similarly, anything that you wish for in your life, unwaveringly, without any distractions, you need to keep all your conscious light, which means all your awareness, all the mind, you need to keep it here. That intelligence, that awareness, conscious awareness is illuminating your mind. So what is the purpose of keeping all the things? To move away all your distractions. Okay, that is the step 2. What is step 3? Reducing the subject to a point, complete subject to a point. How do you reduce that? This involves a complete focus on the light more precisely, almost like a magnifying glass, right? To ignite the spot. This subject is mentally condensed into essence, sharpening and meaning the purpose. Okay, suppose this time anybody, whatever it comes, 7:30, I have to be there, means by from 6:30 onwards, anything comes, I will not entertain anything. Sorry, Thursday evening, no, sorry, I can't come. So which means that you are actually focusing entire thing. Similarly, whenever you want to attain some goal, you completely put your focus, complete that point only you have to keep it. This subject is mentally condensed to particular essence and sharpen the meaning of your purpose. Like I told you, before the exams, whatever you study, you will understand well, because you are completely putting all your focus on that. Next, stage 4. Focusing on the point. You just put everything into the point essence. Now you focus on that point. This is a revolutionary moment. The light is steadily hold on the point. The thing this reveals the truth, oneness, because you merge with that point, because you will become your goal and your goal becomes you. That is the point where you have to oneness. The whole part becomes one with a clear understanding. It is known. It is not anymore an abstract idea. It is really a conscious idea, conscious thing that you are doing. So what is the challenge that you are having it? What is the challenge while you are doing it? What is the challenge that you are doing it? Definitely when you are thinking, there will be a challenge, because we are all ordinary thinkers. In the ordinary thinkers, what is the thing? Ordinary thinking often gets struck where a weak untrained, unsteady body mind, which distracts easily. Suppose when I'm studying, somebody came, okay? Somebody came and I wanted to talk to them. So I distracted. My subject is gone. Okay, somebody invited me for the party on Thursday, so I want to do only on Thursday. Oh, Sirishagar, I cannot make a class if I go. The distraction, that is another distraction. Okay, so like this, so many distractions we can get it right in when we are thinking. So these are all weak-minded, unsteady mind will have all these distractions. Interference from the elements, natural units, seeking to become sensations of the body. Here also elementals you used as a negative kind of connotation. That's why I said elementals are always kind of natural elements. Suppose there a rain is coming up. Let us take some rain is coming up. The climate is so cloudy, and I wanted to have some good hot thing, and I want to eat. Okay, forget the class. Something like that. So whenever you are focusing on something, there could be many distractions could come. So when those distractions are coming, how you will be taking it, how much focus you are keeping it, this is the thing, right? That's where. So these are nature units, means nature in life there are so many things are happening, so many things can attract you. Without going those attractions, how focusedly you are keeping your conscious light on one thing is important. These are the challenges. The diffusion of a conscious light will make focus difficult. The moment that the conscious light got diffused, it will make you difficult. Lack of coordination among the three minds, like feeling mind, desire mind. So whenever there is a lack of coordination, this feeling and desire mind will get distracted. This feeling mind want to feel something, desire mind wants something else. So these are all the challenges that we are having when you are trying to focus. So what is the solution? What is the way out? The way out is the role of persistence. Persistence is the key. So persistence, when you are persistent that I want it, I need to do that. With that persistence only, you can break ordinary thinking. You can break ordinary thinking. As I told you, my example only, I was sit on this book for 3 to 6 months. I'm just opening, reading chapter. I'm not able to understand, keep it away. So that there at that time, I'm in an ordinary thinking. Okay. The moment sir has pushed me like, no, madam, you only can do it. You will do it. So that time, okay, at one point, once I took it, I became a persistent, because without having that persistency, I would not, or Silisha would not have hosted these many sessions. Almost this is 120th or 118th session, if I remember right. So these many sessions over the span of 4 years is not an easy thing. So for anything that you want to do, that persistence, once you are so persistent to achieve something, you will break your ordinary thinking. So you will become extraordinary thinking. Repeated effort on one subject strengthens and trains your mind. It clarifies the light. And it removes all your mental obstructions. It increases the capacity of your nerve system and receives the conduct of light also. It helps to control your body mind. So you know the subject. What will be the result? Now you know the subject and you know it. You know the subject. Whatever the subject you are know it. So in order to achieve this, what to do? We have to use proper use of the body mind. Body mind we always need to use properly. The body mind is the tool through which the first trained. Okay, it is the tool. First, we need to train our body mind. Sit perfect. That's why, even though there is the Balagar only translated, even though the Raja Yoga, Yama, Nima, Asana, there is so many things. Patri sir started with Asana. Because once you trained your body mind, sit perfectly in that dhyana, then all the things will come. When you cannot sit perfectly, perfect posture with the spine erect, then all the things you cannot achieve. So first achieve that. First train your body mind. Then you can achieve all other things. Thinking begins with nature. Okay, a star, an atom, or whatever it is, right? But goal is to remain struck in the physical, is not to struck in the physical object. Do not struck in the physical objects anything. you mastered the body mind, you connect your brain to the nerve centers, and give access to the finer states of the matter. That enables independent consciousness beyond the body. Then at that moment, you will go to the conscious level thinking, you will go, which is beyond your mind. So definition of thinking. So what is the definition of when we are focusing on the subject, you should be able to define in an appropriate words. Whenever I'm actually thinking something, whenever I'm teaching something or thinking something or talking about something, I should be able to define that subject in a proper words. That is why nowadays, I don't know what all this technology comes into the thing. People stopped writing the thing. People stopped taking the notes and all. Remember, I always give the students also in this session also. So whenever we have some idea, write down all in a physical pen and paper. Physical pen and paper. Or I can give you. Forget about idea. Tomorrow, what is the plan? Tomorrow, what and all the things that you wanted to do. Write down in a pen and paper. Okay, tomorrow at the end of the day, checklist. How many things you did it, how many things you couldn't do it, what are the things, the reasons. So once you write down, because your nerve centers, your brain, everything is thinking, it will internalize. And also when there's a pen, black and white, when you are able to put everything, your persistence will become more. You will be able to do that. If you want to test it, you try to do something in the pen and paper for 10 days and see how your ability increases. This is so good that your ability will increases a lot. Thinking must be a true definition expresses the subject fully without need for explanation. So suppose if somebody read that subject, nobody need not explain anything. You will be able to understand. That is the kind of the thing that we have to do. So even though Percival has given a one paragraph, I will understand and I will write again into the bullet points, and then only I'll explain. Why? Because whenever I'm writing, I'm just getting a full clarity on the subject. That notes only I'm actually providing to you all, because Percival's 100 years back American English is a difficult thing. So as I go through the subject over the years, now I'm able to assimilate, understand so well. That is why I'm able to provide the notes and give it to you. So this is the thing. Any subject, whenever you are able to put into the words, you will be able to understand more clearly. Thinking must be translated into the words with a clarity. And with a good. If you will not think into the words, what do you think? If you cannot think, if you cannot write what is your thinking, what are you thinking actually? You yourself don't know. You yourself are deceiving. So you will not make any definite progress. You will not be able to make any progress at all. So this is the problem. So anything like I don't know whether I give the example like, but just now, because a few weeks back I went on a road trip. I asked one of my team member to write everything on the paper, to write everything. What you want to visit, where you want to visit, where you want to take lunch, what is the best vegetarian, vegan restaurant, everything. Because usually if I plan a trip, that's how I write everything. So that what is an alternative thing also. So whenever I'm putting on the pen and paper, right, what will happen is I will try to, oh, this place I'm putting it, is it a good thing or not? Is it any challenges are there? What are the road conditions? Road conditions are having any challenges? Is it a weather dependent? All the things. So when I started googling about that particular article, everything will comes up, right? So you can plan it properly. So that so somebody said, oh, everything is in my mind. When everything is in your mind and when you go there, all the things will happen randomly. So that is not the case. Anything, when you are having a pen, put line by line. Suppose if you see any big meetings, if you are there, they write a minute to minute meeting. They say minute to minute agenda. They say so 9 o'clock chief guest arises, 9:10 lighting of the lamp, 9:15 this, 9:20 this. So like that they will write every minute what is the change. They'll be in that also. Means that is the kind of clarity that we should be getting it whenever you are focusing on a particular subject. Okay. Disassociate yourself with the glamour of the nature. Forget about all the nature. So many people may say something that you cannot do it, or there is a better way of doing it, all the things, right? So many people will tell, but you have to disassociate with all of them. Disassociate. So suppose I have seen there are so many people here, they'll start, oh, I'll become a doctor. Okay, they'll start this studies. Once they start the studies, after the undergrad is over, their friends already got the jobs. They are actually getting 100, 120 packages and everything. Even I saw this with my daughter too, because after the undergrad, she take up the law school, but whereas her friends were taking up 100K jobs, she was felt, oh my God, when they are able to, even after becoming a lawyer, I'll get only like 120 or 150K, and they are already, by the time 3 years, they will already get it. Like, my mom, why do I do it? No, this is your thing. You wanted to do that. Do not compare. These are the nature things. That's what I'm saying. These are the elementals, because that money attraction is an elemental here, or a nature thing, right? So their friends are earning so much, so that is a kind of the thing. Suppose if you take a doctor, they'll take more number of years, 12 years or 15 years they need to study. So meanwhile their friends may be joining in MNCs, and they may be having their stocks, and they may be, so because here what you need is an important. What you want to become is an important. Are you passionate to become a doctor? Are you passionate to become a lawyer? Then forget all this money, all these are the nature things only. Do not get attracted for all these. Disassociate. This is a glamour thing. Disassociate with yourself with that. We, as a feeling and desire, mistake the body is a self with the sensory attachments. We associate with ourselves with the sensory attachments. Disassociate yourself when not in a contact with the nature. Because when you will be not in contact with the nature, when you are in the deep meditation, you are not in contact with the nature. You can distinguish yourself with the nature separately. Okay. Did anybody dreamed about when you are in the distinction? Oh, I wore a beautiful sari. I made a diamond necklace and went. So these things won't come into your meditation, right? Why? Because you are totally disassociating with yourself with the material world when you are in the deep meditation. Okay, when not in the body, we fall under the glamour of the nature. When we are in the body, we fall. That's a maya, a glamour of this nature. So you forgetting your real identity. I means that consciousness, that part of the supreme consciousness. You are forgetting that your identity. I means Prasanna. I means I can teach this. I means I'm a program manager in Citibank. I means I have like 20 plus years of. All these are all the bodily things. Who am I? I'm a consciousness. I came from that supreme consciousness. I came for a purpose. I need to fulfill that purpose. This is the kind of the thing that we should be having it. True progress means, what is a true progress in the life? What is a true progress? Helping nature is the bodily responsibility. Once you take the responsibility, once you take the body, helping nature is the bodily responsibility. It's not that me, myself is not the thing. Help others. Fulfilling destiny by aligning feeling and desire with the higher purpose. Your feeling and desire align with the higher purpose. I want to become, I want to know who am I, I want to know how this, what is this consciousness? I want to know my higher purpose. I want to fulfill my purpose before I die. These are the things which you need to have it. So there, focus on that. Once you focus on that, you will be able to achieve. What is the purpose of true thinking? Okay, we are saying with all these things, we will do true thinking. What is the purpose of true thinking? Free yourself from this glamorous nature. That is a true thinking. You free yourself from this maya. Okay, that's a true thinking. To realize yourself that feeling and desire is distinct from the body and senses. Body and senses is giving some feeling and desire. That is not actually the feeling and desire. Once you understand that you are that real higher self, you understand what's my purpose, why I came to this, why I took the birth in this earth planet. What could be the purpose? And you would not judge anybody. Good, she's doing good, she's doing, but no. They are in their soul journey. They are in a different path. They will learn it. That's how you will live it. So this realization will come. To live your life with dignity, with destiny, with deeper understanding. You will live your life with so much dignity, with a deeper understanding why you came to this life. This, to know the truth directly, not through descriptions, through the consciousness, because once you understand that true thinking, you will know your life very consciously with awareness. Okay, what is the practical takeaways from this? Choose the subject persistently and think on it. Anything that you want to learn, choose the subject persistently and think on it. Hold the light, stay mentally present and clear. Okay, write out what you discover and make it precise. Whatever you discover, whatever you understand, write it down and make it a precise. Observe the distractions and return to the point. If there is something else comes, bring back your mind and focus on that light. Use the body mind to rise beyond it. Use your body mind to rise beyond good and bad, beyond all these things. Go to that. Remind, you do not bound by your body mind. Gradually you receive what is your true identity, which is distinct from the nature. Am I clear in this point? This is all point 8. Clear, Sirisha garu?
Yes, Prasanna. Yeah.
Okay. Now, let's go to the point 9. The actual effort of to think without creating the thoughts. Actual effort. Now he has explained types of thinking and all those things. Now the actual effort of thinking without creating the thoughts begin identifying the free feeling. You should come out of that feeling, free of the feeling, right? You should come out of that. So how do you come out of the effort towards? So how do you come out of that free feeling? The feeling is again the elemental or the natural feelings, right? Whatever the outside world, whatever the feelings, the desires you are getting, you need to become free. That's what. So again, here's the question, right? People will say, how do I develop? How do I develop? If I am outside the things, if I am not free, how do I develop? Suppose when you are in the, again, as Patrisa mentioned, you always need to take a middle path, but you should be disconnected. You should not get connected or attached with that. That is the main thing that we should do. Suppose let us take, I have a kids. I need to earn money. So in order to earn money, I'm doing a job. While I'm doing a job, definitely I want to show my work and I wanted to achieve good success. I wanted to get promotions and all those things. Let us take. But suppose for some reason there is a promotion was not given for that year. Don't get attached to it. That's where actually you are saying, right? So don't get attached. That is not your higher purpose. That you are doing as a process. Your higher purpose is why I am coming and teaching, why am I able to put all the efforts. I know the doing the job is not my higher purpose, that I'm doing for my bills. To pay the bills, I need money. To get the money, I'm doing that. That's not my higher purpose. That much a clarity. Because of that, only to feed my soul, to feed my happiness, I'm doing all these volunteering things. Because this is giving me the immense satisfaction. So connect yourself with the inner self. Always, right? Connect yourself with the inner. The process of inner spiritual discipline is connected because is to reconnect with your higher self. As I mentioned in the beginning of the session itself, you need to reconnect with your higher self or triune self. That higher self is nothing but the knower, right? The triune self. So true triune self, which is nothing but thinker, knower, and the judge. Everybody is there. So not just with the doer, thinker, knower, and the judge, those people. The primary aim is to gain the consciousness unity with the inner self. What is it? With your inner self, you need to get the conscious unity to perform the duties with awareness and attain the inner freedom with the self-recognition. So that is what you need to get it. The feeling mind in practice. What is the feeling mind in practice? The feeling mind is a specific inner faculty The feeling mind is a specific inner faculty. The effort relies on using it consciously. So involving the triune self during the key transition moments. Always try to involve your triune self. Whenever you are taking decision, do not go here and there. Completely put the focus. Ask your higher self. Connect and give me the guidance. Before falling asleep also, you try to connect. Immediately after waking up, you try to connect. Everywhere you try to help me, higher self, connect and help me, meditate. Help. That's why morning in the first time and evening, people will always wants you to do meditate. So connect connect to your higher self. Engage. Or prior to engaging your meditative or freedom to seek a thought, always connect to your higher self. Okay, what is that inner evocation, appeal? Do the appeal to that higher self, right? That is inner invocation. They say a thoughtful, earnest prayer, a mental affirmation addressed to the higher self. Always, my judge, my knower, judge or a knower. So whoever is higher self, right? My judge or my knower, give me the light of the knower. Please give me the light of my knower. Let me always be conscious of thee, that I may be doing my duty and be consciously with it. Whatever the duty I'm doing, I may be doing it, but be consciously with that knower. Please help me. So always pray that. It's not praying, oh, Baba, give me that. I will give you this. No, that is not the prayer. That is all with your bodily mind you are doing it. Whenever you are doing with your consciously, please always connect with your higher self. Connect with your knower. And our judge is also the same word that he is using. Connect with that with your knower. Then help me to get that conscious light. This appeal means receive inner guidance. I am not expecting any outer guidance. Let my inner guide me. Receive inner guidance and light. Cultivate conscious connection with the higher self. Always have that conscious connection with the higher self. Align the duty of a spiritual purpose. You have got with some duty to this earth. Align yourself with the duty and do that. Understand your feeling. What is the feeling? The feeling of inner experience or the self within the body, that it receives impressions from the external world. Always it is receiving the impressions from the external world, but connect to your inner self and do not go by the nature things, but be on its own. Feeling cannot distinguish it from external impressions or the senses that deliver these impressions. You will not be able to distinguish. Suppose, let us take, I bought the sari that I wanted to have for a longer time. I'm so happy. I bought a diamond necklace. I'm so happy. I wore it. Also, I connected to the higher self and I got some knowledge that day. I'm so happy. You are feeling both are the impressions. No. Here, the first two are the created by the external, whereas the third one came within you. You have connected within yourself. So try to distinguish between these two. What is an external impression? What is the impression that the senses are giving and trying to satisfy? And what is the impression that is coming internally? The meaning, feeling is blended with the bounded with the nature. No, do not take that. Feeling that is bound with your awareness, that is bonded with your consciousness, that is the real feeling. Take that feeling. Try to distinguish between these two. Similarly, the relationship between the feeling and desire. What is the relationship between feeling and desire? You try to. The self is the body consists of feeling and desire. Okay. We must work together to achieve the freedom. Feeling receives the impressions from the nature. So whenever some impressions come from the nature, so the desire, oh, I want it. I saw Sirisha Garu wearing a diamond necklace. Oh, I want it. My desire is saying. Okay, this is a feeling that I want, and desire immediately with that feeling, the desire came up. It is a bound to the nature, but you free from the nature cannot free unless the feeling is free. Your feeling should become a free, then only you will become free. Otherwise, once the feeling is there, the desire will come. So you need the desire help to be liberated. That desire needs to be liberated. You must get the freedom for the feeling. You need to get the freedom. Desire cannot be freed without first helping feeling attain the freedom. First, desire cannot be freed. First, if you want to take out the desire, first you need to take out your feelings. Suppose if I am taking whatever the other people are wearing, if I go to the party, all other people are wearing different kinds of jewelries and different sarees. If I'm just seeing them, appreciating them, they're looking good and coming without having any feelings. That's where the freedom comes. That kind of freedom, we should be getting it. Okay, that is the freedom that he's saying. You get that freedom. Feeling is a nature's stronghold, and it holds. So once you hold the feeling, it holds the desire. So do not get attached to the nature. Path to the freedom. How you can go to the freedom? Mutual support. You support. Desire must consciously wish the feeling to be free. You must have a desire. What is the desire? I need to get a higher purpose. I need to know that. So I should not get into this external things. You should have that kind of strong feeling. Only then feeling will be empowered to identify itself. Who am I? Who am I? That kind of a thing. It will try to identify itself and separate it from the senses and the nature. Then it will go to the true meaning of its why we came to this earth. The practice of, so on this subject, persistent thinking, like Ramana Maharshi always say, who am I? I'm a consciousness. Who are telling? I'm Subbaro, I'm Prasanna, I'm Sirisha. This is what we are saying. Who I'm able to tell? I'm a consciousness. That is the thing, right? Who am I? Contemplate on this. Put complete light on that subject. The tool for freedom is persistent thought. Completely focus on your feeling on that thought. One begins a separate feeling from the impressions, and there will be a separate feeling from outer impressions and senses. Do not go there. Feeling recognizes itself and it gradually frees. Once feeling is free, it can help desire and it can liberate itself. That is what the ninth point is saying. Here the summary is always invoke your conscious triune self. In the morning, in the night, always try to invoke that consciousness. Okay, that's the first thing. Deep introspection. Whenever some feeling comes, whenever some desire comes, deeply introspect yourself. That's another thing. Persistently, you focus on your feeling, whether it is coming from the nature or not. You always be aware of that, and also be cooperate between the feeling and desire, and get the inner freedom from this nature control. Always try to get that inner feeling from the nature control. So with that, I conclude the point 9. Okay, because there is only 5 minutes. I don't want. If there is any questions on this, I can take.